1 in 3 Americans have zero emergency savings. Are you one of them? Discover why this puts your future at risk and how to start protecting yourself today. Remember to like and subscribe for more Money Smart Basics videos. If you have any suggestions for financial literacy topics, please leave a comment. Stay until the end to receive a bonus tip. Folks, let's pause for a moment and really look at where we are as a nation. Today, I want us to have a real heart-to-heart conversation. Not just about numbers or statistics, but about the reality so many of us are living every single day. A recent study revealed a staggering statistic. 1 in 3 American adults do not have any money set aside for an emergency. That's not just a data point, it's a wake-up call. Imagine for a moment what that means. It means that millions of people, our neighbors, our friends, maybe even ourselves, are just one unexpected event away from financial disaster. This isn't just a number. It represents real people living with constant, unrelenting stress. The kind of stress that keeps you up at night, wondering how you'll make it through the next week or even the next day. For many, a flat tire isn't just an inconvenience. It's a crisis. It's a choice between getting to work and buying groceries for the week. It's the kind of decision that no one should have to make, but far too many do, every single day. We've normalized living on the edge, accepting debt as a normal part of life. Swiping a credit card for groceries, for gas, for the basics, this has become the new normal. But normal doesn't mean healthy, and it certainly doesn't mean safe. The problem is, we've been sold a lie. We're bombarded with messages telling us that credit is the answer, that debt is just a part of life, that everyone is doing it, but that's not the truth. The truth is, relying on debt is a trap. Relying on a credit card for an emergency is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It might seem like a quick fix, but it only makes things worse in the long run. The interest piles up, the payments get harder, and the stress grows. It only makes the problem bigger, digging you into a deeper hole. The more we depend on debt, the harder it becomes to climb out. It's a cycle that can feel impossible to break. But here's the good news. We have the power to change the narrative. We don't have to accept this as our fate. We can choose a different path, one that leads to security, peace of mind, and true financial freedom. Taking back control of our money and our lives is not just about dollars and cents, it's about empowerment. It's about giving ourselves and our families the chance to breathe, to dream, and to build a future that isn't defined by fear or scarcity. It starts with recognizing the problem and then making the conscious choice to do things differently. It's about setting goals, making plans, and taking small steps every day toward a better future. And the most powerful tool you have against financial chaos? It's the emergency fund. Even a small amount set aside can make a world of difference. It's not just about money, it's about peace of mind, about knowing you have a buffer when life throws you a curveball. This is where real change begins. Now let's talk about the solution. An emergency fund is money set aside for unexpected expenses. It's a financial buffer between you and disaster. Think of it like a financial fire extinguisher. The key is that the money must be liquid and easily accessible. The best place for your emergency fund is a simple savings account. It needs to be separate from your regular checking account. Out of sight, out of mind, but ready at a moment's notice. An emergency fund is for emergencies only. A major car repair, a sudden job loss, or an unexpected medical bill. It's not for predictable expenses like Christmas gifts. Protect your emergency fund and use it only for its intended purpose. Financial emergencies are often more common and mundane. Let's talk about your car. What happens when the car won't start? That is an emergency. Without savings, you're looking at a high-interest loan. Then there's the human body, which doesn't come with a lifetime warranty. Medical surprises can cost thousands, even with insurance. When you have an emergency fund, you can focus on healing. Let's not forget about our homes. A new HVAC system or a new roof can run you $10,000 or more. Without an emergency fund, people are forced to take out home equity lines of credit. The biggest emergency of all for many families is a sudden loss of income. If having an emergency fund is so important, why do so many struggle to build one? Stagnant wages have not kept pace with the rising cost of living. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, saving can feel like a cruel joke. Another major obstacle is the crushing weight of debt. This cycle of debt creates a powerful headwind. We live in a culture of instant gratification. Finally, many people simply have never been taught how to handle money. Breaking that cycle requires education and a deliberate decision to learn a new way. Let me tell you about a family I talked to, the Millers. Mark worked in construction, and Sarah was a part-time administrative assistant. They had 2 young kids and were doing their best to make ends meet. But, honestly, they were drowning. Their paychecks were gone before they had a chance to breathe. They had exactly $84 in their savings account. Every night, Sarah would lie awake worrying. Then, the thing they feared most happened. The transmission on their minivan went out. They didn't have the money. They went to a predatory lender and took out a title loan. It was a decision made out of pure desperation. This was their rock-bottom moment. They realized it was time to get angry, get focused, and start fighting for their financial future. When you're in a deep financial hole, the idea of saving money can feel almost impossible. The weight of bills, debt, and daily expenses can make it seem like there's no way out, and the thought of putting money aside might even feel pointless. But here's the truth. Even in the toughest times, you can take small steps that make a big difference. That's why we don't start with a huge, intimidating goal. Instead, we focus on a single, achievable milestone, something you can actually reach, even if things are tight right now. Setting a realistic target gives you a sense of control and direction, and it's the first step toward building real financial security. Your first mission is simple. Save $1,000 as quickly as you possibly can. This isn't about building a full emergency fund yet. It's about creating a small but powerful buffer between you and life's unexpected expenses. This is your starter emergency fund. It's not meant to cover every crisis, but it will protect you from the most common financial surprises, like a flat tire, a broken appliance, or an unexpected medical bill. The goal here isn't perfection. You don't need to have every detail figured out. What matters most is focused intensity, pouring your energy into this one goal until it's done. It's about making saving your top priority, even if it means making some tough choices for a little while. To get there, you'll need to live on what's called a scorched earth budget. That means cutting your spending down to the absolute essentials. Cook at home instead of eating out, plan your meals, and shop with a list to avoid impulse buys. For now, say no to eating out, no to vacations, and no to new clothes. These sacrifices are temporary, but they'll help you reach your goal much faster. Take a hard look at your monthly expenses and cancel every subscription or service you don't absolutely need. Streaming services, gym memberships, and delivery apps can all add up. Put that money toward your emergency fund instead. Every extra dollar you find, whether it's spare change, a tax refund, or money from selling something you no longer use, should go directly toward this goal. Watch your savings grow, even if it's just a few dollars at a time. In addition to cutting expenses, look for ways to bring in extra income. Offer to mow lawns, walk dogs, or babysit for neighbors. Every bit of extra cash gets you closer to your target. Have a massive garage sale and sell everything that isn't nailed down. Old clothes, unused electronics, and furniture you don't need can all be turned into cash for your emergency fund. If you can, pick up a temporary side hustle, deliver food, drive for a rideshare service, or take on freelance work online. Even a few extra hours a week can make a big difference. Once you hit that $1,000 goal, take a moment to celebrate. You've just taken a huge step toward financial peace, and you should be proud of your progress. That starter emergency fund is more than just money. It's a tangible symbol of hope. It shows you that change is possible and that you have the power to take control of your finances. Most importantly, it breaks the cycle of borrowing and gives you the momentum you need to tackle the next step on your financial journey. This is where your comeback begins. Finding extra money to save requires you to become a detective in your own financial life. The most powerful tool for this is a written, zero-based budget. A budget is not a straitjacket, it's a plan that gives you permission to spend. One of the biggest budget busters is food. By committing to meal planning and cooking at home, you can slash this expense. Pack your lunch for work and brew your own coffee. Go through your bank and credit card statements with a fine-tooth comb. Look for money leaks. Cancel unnecessary subscriptions. Don't be afraid to negotiate your regular bills. A 15-minute phone call could save you $50 or $100 a month. Every dollar you keep in your pocket is a dollar that can work for you. Once you've set aside your initial $1,000 starter emergency fund, you've taken a huge first step toward financial stability. But the journey doesn't stop there. The next phase is to build a fully funded emergency fund, a financial cushion that can truly give you peace of mind. This fund is your safety net, designed to protect you and your family from life's unexpected twists and turns, like a job loss, medical emergency, or major car repair. It's about creating a buffer so that when life throws you a curveball, you're ready. The goal here is to save enough money to cover 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. This isn't just a random number, it's a proven range that gives most people enough time to recover from a financial setback without going into debt or panicking. Think of it as your personal insurance policy, but one you control and can access whenever you need it. Having this fund in place is the ultimate insurance policy against a major life event. It's the difference between stress and security, between sleepless nights and peace of mind. When you know you have a financial cushion, you can face challenges with confidence, knowing you're prepared for whatever comes your way. To figure out how much you need, start by calculating what it costs for you to live for 1 month. This means looking at your real everyday expenses, not just guesses or rough estimates. Add up your monthly mortgage or rent, your grocery bill, utility bills, and basic transportation costs like gas or public transit. Don't forget insurance premiums and any other essentials you can't live without. This is your bare bones budget, the amount you need to keep your household running if your income stopped tomorrow. Once you have your monthly total, multiply it by 3 to get the minimum you should save, and by 6 for the maximum. This gives you a savings range to aim for, depending on your comfort level and job stability. Saving up this amount won't happen overnight. It takes time, patience, and a lot of discipline. But every dollar you put away brings you one step closer to true financial peace. Celebrate your progress along the way, and remember that consistency is key. Now that you're debt-free, you can redirect the money you were using to pay off debt straight into your emergency fund. Make saving a habit, set up automatic transfers, use windfalls like tax refunds or bonuses, and look for small ways to cut expenses so you can save even faster. Keep living on a written budget and make saving your #1 financial priority. Track your progress each month and adjust your spending if you need to. The more intentional you are, the faster you'll reach your goal. Store your emergency fund in a high-yield savings account or a money market account, somewhere safe, accessible, and separate from your everyday spending. This way your money is easy to get to in an emergency, but not so easy that you'll be tempted to dip into it for non-essentials. Remember, the purpose of this fund is security, not growth. It's not about earning big returns, it's about knowing you and your loved ones are protected, no matter what life brings. That's true financial peace. For some, saving $1,000 feels like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops. I want you to hear me loud and clear. It is not impossible. I have seen millions of people do this. The journey to financial peace begins with a single step. It begins with the decision that you are sick and tired of being sick and tired. The act of saving begins to rewire your brain. Small, consistent steps over time lead to massive results. Imagine a year from now having $1,000 in the bank. Imagine being completely debt-free, with a fully funded emergency fund. Imagine the peace of mind that comes with that. My challenge to you today is simple. Start. Sit down tonight, write out a basic budget, and find some money to put into savings. You can do this. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. With that, you are ahead of 90% of most people in America. Here is the bonus tip that we promised. Start small. Commit to saving just $10 to $20 a week in a separate account. Over time, those small deposits add up and you'll begin building the safety net you need without feeling overwhelmed. The information provided in this content is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, or legal counsel before making any financial decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided. Investments and financial decisions carry risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results.